Address to a Child During a Boisterous Winter Evening by Dorothy Wordsworth. Read for Librivox.org by Raphael Phoenix Blaze. May 2012, Dallas, Texas. Hat way does the wind come. What way does he go? He rides over the water and over the snow, through wood and through vale, and o'er rocky height, which the goat cannot climb, takes his sounding flight. He tosses about in every bare tree, as if you look up, you plainly may see. But how he will come, and whither he goes, there never a scholar in England knows. He will suddenly stop in a cunning nook, and ring a sharp larum. But if you should look, there's nothing to see but a cushion of snow, round as a pillow, and whiter than milk, and softer than if it were covered with silk. Sometimes he'll hide in the cave of a rock, then whistle as shrill as the buzzard cock. Yet seek him, and what shall you find in that place? Nothing but silence and empty space, save, in a corner, a heap of dry leaves. That's he's left, for a bed, to beggars or thieves. As soon as 'tis daylight tomorrow, with me you shall go to the orchard, and then you will see that he has been there and made a great rout, and cracked the branches and strewn them about. Heaven grant that he spare but that one upright twig, that looked up at the sky so proud and big, all last summer, as well you know, studded with apples, a beautiful show. Hark! Over the roof he makes a pause, and growls as if he would fix his claws right in the slates, and with a huge rattle drive them down like men in a battle. But let him range around, he does us no harm. We build up the fire, we're snug and warm. Untouched by his breath, see the candle shines bright, and burns with a clear and steady light. Books have we to read, but that half-stifled knell, alas! 'Tis the sound of the 8 o'clock bell. Come, now we'll be to bed, and when we are there, he may work his own will, and what shall be care? He may knock at the door, we'll not let him in, may drive at the windows, we'll laugh at his din. Let him seek his own home wherever it be, here's a cozy warm house for Edward and me. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Alone by Edgar Allan Poe. Read for Librivox.org by Rhonda Fetterman. From childhood's hour I have not been as others were. I have not seen as others saw. I could not bring my passions from a common spring. From the same source I have not taken my sorrow. I could not awaken my heart to joy at the same tone. And all I loved alone. Then in my childhood, in the dawn of a most stormy life, was drawn from every depth of good and ill the mystery which binds me still. From the torrent or the fountain, from the red cliff of the mountain, from the sun that round me rolled in its autumn tint of gold, from the lightning in the sky as it passed me flying by, from the thunder and the storm, and the cloud that took the form, when the rest of heaven was blue, of a demon in my view. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Before the Birth of One of Her Children, by Anne Bradstreet. Read for Librivox.org by Rhonda Fetterman. All things within this fading world hath end. Adversity doth still our joys attend. No ties so strong, no friends so dear and sweet, but with death's parting blow is sure to meet. The sentence passed is most irrevocable, a common thing, yet, oh, inevitable. How soon, my dear, death may my steps attend! How soon it may be thy lot to lose thy friend! We are both ignorant, yet love bids me these farewell lines to recommend to thee, that when that knot's untied that made us one, I may seem thine, who in effect am none. And if I see not half my days that's due, what nature would, God grant to yours and you. The many faults that well you know I have, let be interred in my oblivious grave. If any worth or virtue were in me, let that live freshly in thy memory. And when thou feel'st no grief, as I no harms, yet love thy dead who long lay in thine arms. And when thy loss shall be repaid with gains, look to my little babes, my dear remains. And if thou love thyself or lovest me, these, oh, protect from step-dame's injury. And if chance to thine eyes shall bring this verse, with some sad sighs honour my absent hearse, and kiss this paper for thy love's dear sake, who with salt tears this last farewell did take. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Be True by Horatius Bonar, read by Rosehip. Thou must be true thyself, if thou the truth wouldst teach. Thy soul must overflow, if thou another soul wouldst reach. It needs the overflow of heart to give the lips full speech. Think truly, and thy thoughts shall the world's famine feed. Speak truly, and each word of thine shall be a fruitful seed. Live truly, and thy life shall be a great and noble creed. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Cradle Song by Thomas Dekker. Read for Librivox.org by Winston Tharp. Golden slumbers kiss your eyes, smiles awake you when you rise. Sleep, pretty wantons, do not cry, and I will sing a lullaby. Rock them, lullaby. Care is heavy, therefore sleep you. You are care, and care must keep you. Sleep, pretty wantons, do not cry, and I will sing a lullaby. Rock them, lullaby. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Hesitating Veteran by Ambrose Bierce. Read for Librivox.org by Winston Tharp. When I was young and full of faith and other fads that youngsters cherish, a cry rose as of one that saith with emphasis, "Help, or I perish!" 'Twas heard in all the land, and men the sound were each to each repeating. It made my heart beat faster then than any heart can now be beating. For the world is old and the world is gray, grown prudent, and I think more witty. She's cut her wisdom teeth, they say, and doesn't now go in for pity. Besides, the melancholy cry was that of one, 'tis now conceded, whose plight no one beneath the sky felt half so poignantly as he did. Moreover, he was black. And yet that sentimental generation with an austere compassion set its face and faith to the occasion. Then there were hate and strife to spare, and various hard knocks aplenty. And I was more than my true share, I must confess, took 25. That all is over now. The reign of love and trade stills all dissensions, and the clear heavens arch again above a land of peace and pensions. The black chap, at the last we gave him everything that he had cried for, though many white chaps in the grave would puzzle to say what they died for. I hope he's better off. I trust that his society and his masters are worth the price we paid, and must continue paying, in disasters. But sometimes doubts press thronging round. 'Tis mostly when my hurts are aching, if war for union was a sound and profitable undertaking. 'Tis said they mean to take away the Negro's vote, for he's unlettered. 'Tis true he sits in darkness day and night, as formerly, when fettered. But pray observe how ere he vote, to whatsoever party turning, he'll be with gentlemen of note and wealth and consequence and learning. With saints and sages on each side, how could a fool through lack of knowledge vote wrong? If learning is no guide, why ought one to have been in college? O son of day, O son of night, what are your preferences made of? I know not which one of you is right, nor which to be the more afraid of. The world is old, and the world is bad, and creaks and grinds upon its axis, and man's an ape, and the gods are mad. There's nothing sure, not even our taxes. No mortal man can truth restore, or say where she is to be sought for. I know what uniform I wore. Oh, that I knew which side I fought for. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Holidays by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, read for Librivox.org by April Gonzalez in Cavite, Philippines. The holiest of all holidays are those kept by ourselves in silence and apart, the secret anniversaries of the heart, when the full river of feeling overflows. The happy days unclouded to the close, the sudden joys that are out of darkness jar, as flames from ashes, swift desires from dart, like swallows swing down each wind that blows. White as a gleam of a receding sail, white as a cloud that floats and fades in air, white as the whitest lily on the stream. These tender memories are a fairy tale of some enchanted land we know not where, but lovely as a landscape in a dream. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
How pleasant to know Mr. Lear. Read for Librivox.org by Martin Geeson, in Hazelmere, Surrey. How pleasant to know Mr. Lear. Who has written such volumes of stuff? Some think him ill-tempered and queer, but a few think him pleasant enough. His mind is concrete and fastidious, his nose is remarkably big, his visage is more or less hideous, his beard it resembles a wig, he has ears and 2 eyes and 10 fingers, leastways if you reckon 2 thumbs. Long ago he was one of the singers, but now he is one of the dumbs. He sits in a beautiful parlour, with hundreds of books on the wall. He drinks a great deal of Marsala, but never gets tipsy at all. He has many friends, laymen and clerical. Old Foss is the name of his cat. His body is perfectly spherical. He weareth a runcible hat. When he walks in waterproof white, the children run after him so, calling out, "He's come out in his nightgown, that crazy old Englishman, oh!" He weeps by the side of the ocean, he weeps on the top of the hill. He purchases pancakes and lotion, and chocolate shrimps from the mill. He reads, but he cannot speak Spanish. He cannot abide ginger beer. Ere the days of his pilgrimage vanish, how pleasant to know Mr. Lear. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Illicit by Conrad Aiken, read for Librivox.org by Leonard Wilson of Springfield, Ohio, May 2012. Of what she said to me that night, no matter. The strange thing came next day. My brain was full of music, something she played me. I couldn't remember it all, but phrases of it wreathed and wreathed among faint memories, seeking for something, trying to tell me something, urging to restlessness, verging on grief. I tried to play the tune from memory, but memory failed. The chords and discords climbed and found no resolution, only hung there and left me morbid. Where, then, had I heard it? What secret dusty chamber was it hinting? Dust, it said, dust and sunlight. A cold, clear April evening, snow bedraggled, rain-worn snow dappling the hideous grass, and someone walking alone, and someone saying that all must end, for the time had come to go. These were the phrases, but behind, beneath them, a greater shadow moved, and in this shadow I stood and guessed, was it the blue-eyed lady, the one who always danced in golden slippers? And had I danced with her upon this music? Or was it further back, the unplumbed twilight of childhood? No, much recenter than that. You know, without my telling you, how sometimes a word or name eludes you, and you seek it through running ghosts of shadow, leaping at it, lying in wait for it, to spring upon it, spreading faint snares for it of sense or sound, until of a sudden, as if in a phantom forest, you hear it, see it flash among the branches, and scarcely knowing how, suddenly have it. Well, it was so I followed down this music, glimpsing a face in darkness, hearing a cry, remembering days forgotten, moods exhausted, corners in sunlight, puddles reflecting stars, until, of a sudden, and least of all expected, the thing resolved itself. And I remembered an April afternoon 8 years ago, or was it 9? No matter, call it 9. A room in which the last of sunlight faded, a vase of violets, fragrance in white curtains, and she, who played this same thing later, playing. She played this tune, and in the middle of it abruptly broke it off, letting her hands fall in her lap. She sat there so a moment, with shoulders drooped, then lifted up a rose, one great white rose, wide open like a lotus, and pressed it to her cheek, and closed her eyes. "You know we've got to end this. Miriam loves you. If she should ever know, or even guess it, what would she do? Listen, I'm not absurd, I'm sure of it. If you had eyes for women, to understand them, which you've never had, you'd know it too." So went this colloquy, half humorous, with undertones of pathos, half grave, half flippant, while her fingers softly felt for this tune, played it and let it fall, now note by singing note, now chord by chord, repeating phrases with a kind of pleasure. Was it symbolic of the woman's weakness that she could neither break it nor conclude? It paused and wandered, paused again, while she, perplexed and tired, half told me I must go, half asked me if I thought I ought to go. Well, April passed, with many other evenings, evenings like this, with later suns and warmer, with violets always there, and fragrant curtains. And she was right, and Miriam found it out. And after that, when 8 deep years had passed, or 9, we met once more by accident. But was it just by accident, I wonder, she played this tune? Or what, then, was intended? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
I Would I Were a Careless Child by George Gordon Byron. Read for Librivox.org by Raphael Phoenix Blaze. May 2012, Dallas, Texas. I would I were a careless child, still dwelling in my highland cave, or roaming through the dusky wild, or bounding o'er the dark blue wave. The cumbrous pomp of Saxon pride accords not with the free-born soul, which loves the mountain's craggy side, and seeks the rocks where billows roll. Fortune, take back these cultured lands, take back this name of splendid sound. I hate the touch of servile hands, I hate the slaves that cringe around. Place me among the rocks I love, which sound to ocean's wildest roar. I ask but this, again to rove, through scenes my youth hath known before. Few are my years, and yet I feel the world was ne'er designed for me. Ah, why do darkening shades conceal the hour when man must cease to be? Once I beheld a splendid dream, a visionary scene of bliss. Truth, wherefore did thy hated beam awake me to a world like this? I loved, but those I loved are gone, had friends, my early friends are fled. How cheerless feels the heart alone, when all its former hopes are dead! Though gay companions o'er the bowl dispel awhile the sense of ill, though pleasure stirs the maddening soul, the heart is lonely still. How dull to hear the voice of those whom rank or chance, whom wealth or power have made, though neither friends nor foes, associates of the festive hour. Give me again a faithful few, in years and feelings still the same, and I will fly the midnight crew, where boisterous joy is but a name. And woman, lovely woman, thou, my hope, my comforter, my all, how cold must be my bosom now, when e'en thy smiles begin to pall. Without a sigh I would resign this busy scene of splendid woe, to make that calm contentment mine, which virtue knows, or seems to know. Fain would I fly the haunts of men, I seek to shun, not hate mankind. My breast requires the sullen glen, whose gloom may suit a darkened mind. Oh, that to me the wings were given, which bear the turtle to her nest! Then would I cleave the vault of heaven, to flee away and be at rest. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Kingdom of Heaven by Francis Thompson. Read for Librivox.org by Algie Pugg, Perth, Western Australia. O world invisible, we view thee. O world intangible, we touch thee. O world unknowable, we know thee, inapprehensible, we clutch thee. Does the fish soar to find the ocean, the eagle plunge to find the air, that we ask the stars in motion if they have rumour of thee there? Not where the wheeling systems darken, and our benumbed conceiving soars, the drift of pinions, would we hearken, beats at our own clay-shuttered doors. The angels keep their ancient places, turn but a stone, but start with a wing. 'Tis ye, 'tis your estranged faces that miss the many splendour thing. But when so sad thou canst not sadder, cry, and upon thy so sore loss shall shine the traffic of Jacob's ladder, pitched betwixt heaven and Charing Cross. Yea, in the night, my soul, my daughter, cry, clinging heaven by the hems, and lo, Christ walking on the water, not of Gennesareth, but Thames. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Me Imperturb by Walt Whitman. Read for Librivox.org by James Bendall. Me imperturb, standing at ease in nature, master of all or mistress of all, aplomb in the midst of irrational things, imbued as they, passive, receptive, silent as they, finding my occupation, poverty, notoriety, foibles, crimes, less important than I thought. Me toward the Mexican Sea, or in the Mannahatta, or the Tennessee, or far north or inland. A river man, or a man of the woods, or of any farmland of these states, or of the coast, or the lakes, or Canada. Me wherever my life is lived. Oh, to be self-balanced for contingencies, to confront night, storms, hunger, ridicule, accidents, rebuffs, as the trees and animals do. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Monody by Herman Melville. Read for Librivox.org by Craig Houghton. To have known him, to have loved him after loneness long, and then to be estranged in life, and neither in the wrong. And now, for death to set his seal, ease me, a little ease my song. By wintry hills, his hermit mound, the sheeted snowdrifts drape, and houseless there, the snowbird flits, beneath the fir trees crape. Glazed now with ice, the cloistral vine, that hid the shyest grape. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Não sei se me engano, Helena, by Luís Vaz de Camões. Read for Librivox.org by Carlos Gomes in Vila Franca de Xira, Portugal, May 2012. Há 3 damas que lhe diziam que o amavam. Não sei se me engana, Helena, se Maria, se Joana. Não sei qual delas me engana. Uma diz que me quer bem, outra jura que me quer. Mas em jura de mulher, quem crerá se elas não creem? Não posso não querer a Helena, a Maria nem Joana, mas não sei qual mais me engana. Uma faz-me juramentos que só meu amor estima. Outra diz que se fina, Joana que bebe os ventos. Se cuido que mente Helena, também mentirá Joana. Mas quem mente não me engana. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Night with a Wolf by Baird Taylor. Read for Librivox.org by Nissa Schmidt. Little one, come to my knee. Hark how the rain is pouring over the roof in the pitch-dark night, and the winds in the woods are roaring. Hush, my darling, and listen, then pay for the story with kisses. Father was lost in the pitch-black night, in just a storm as this is. High on the lonely mountain, where the wild men watched and waited, wolves in the forest and bears in the bush, and I on my path belated. The rain and the night together came down, and the wind came after. bending the props of the pine-tree roof and snapping many a rafter. I crept along in the darkness, stunned and bruised and blinded, crept to a fir with thick-set boughs and a sheltering rock behind it. There, from the blowing and raining, crouching I sought to hide me. Something rustled, 2 green eyes shone, and a wolf lay down beside me. Little one, be not frightened. I and the wolf together, side by side through the long, long night, hid from the awful weather. His wet fur pressed against me. Each of us warmed the other. Each of us felt in the stormy dark that beast and man was brother. And when the falling forest no longer crashed in warning, each of us went from our hiding place forth in the wild, wet morning. Darling, kiss me in payment. Hark how the wind is roaring! Father's house is a better place when the stormy rain is pouring. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Old Mill by Thomas Dunn English. Read for Librivox.org by Leonard Wilson of Springfield, Ohio. May 2012. Here from the brow of the hill I look, through a lattice of boughs and leaves, on the old gray mill with its gambrel roof and the moss on its rotting eaves. I hear the clatter that jars its walls and the rushing water's sound, and I see the black floats rise and fall as the wheel goes slowly round. I rode there often when I was young, with my grist on the horse before, and talked with Nellie, the miller's girl, as I waited my turn at the door. And while she tossed her ringlets brown and flirted and chatted so free, the wheel might stop or the wheel might go, it was all the same to me. 'Tis 20 years since last I stood on the spot where I stand to-day, and Nellie is wed, and the miller is dead, and the mill and I are gray. But both, till we fall into ruin and wreck, to our fortune of toil are bound, and the man goes, and the stream flows, and the wheel moves slowly round. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Retribution by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Read for Librivox.org by April Gonzalez in Cavite, Philippines. Though the mills of God grind slowly, yet they grind exceeding small. Though with patience he stands waiting, with exactness grinds he all. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Songs of Seven by Jean Ingelow. Read for Librivox.org by Noel Badrian. 7 times 1. Exaltation. There's no dew left on the daisies and clover. There's no rain left in heaven. I've said my 7 times over and over. 7 times 1 are 7. I am old, so old I can write a letter. My birthday lessons are done. The lambs play always, they know no better. They are only 1 times 1. O moon, in the night I have seen you sailing, and shining so round and low. You were bright, ah bright, but your light is failing. You are nothing now but a bow. You moon, have you done something wrong in heaven, that God has hidden your face? I hope if you have, you will soon be forgiven, and shine again in your place. O velvet bee, you're a dusty fellow, you've powdered your legs with gold. O brave marsh marybuds, rich and yellow, give me your money to hold. O columbine, open your folded wrapper, where two twin turtle doves dwell. O cuckoo pint, toll me the purple clapper that hangs in your clear green bell, and show me your nest with the young ones in it. I will not steal them away. I am old, you may trust me, linnet, linnet, I am 7 times 1 to-day. 7 times 2, romance. You bells in the steeple, ring, ring out your changes, how many soe'er they be, and let the brown meadow lark's note as he ranges come over to me. Yet birds' clearest carol, by fall or by swelling, no magical sense conveys, and bells have forgotten their old art of telling the fortune of future days. Turn again, once they rang cheerily, while a boy listened alone, made his heart yearn again, musing so wearily, all by himself on a stone. Poor bells, I forgive you, your good days are over, and mine, they are yet to be. No listening, no longing shall aught discover. You leave the story to me. The foxglove shoots out of the green matted heather, and hangeth her hoods of snow. She was idle, and slept till the sunshiny weather. Oh, children take long to grow. I wish, and I wish that the spring would go faster, nor long summer bide so late, and I could grow on like the foxglove and aster, for some things are ill to wait. I wait for the day when dear hearts shall discover, while dear hands are laid on my head, the child is a woman, the book may close over, for all the lessons are said. I wait for my story. The birds cannot sing it, not one as he sits on the tree. The bells cannot ring it, but long years, oh, bring it, such as I wish it to be. 7 times 3, love. I leaned out of a window, I smelt the white clover. Dark, dark was the garden, I saw not the gate. Now, if there be footsteps, he comes, my one lover. Hush, nightingale, hush, O sweet nightingale, wait till I listen and hear if a step draweth near, for my love he is late. The skies in the darkness stoop nearer and nearer, a cluster of stars hangs like fruit in the tree. The fall of the water comes sweeter, comes clearer. To what art thou listening, and what dost thou see? Let the star clusters glow, let the sweet waters flow, and cross quickly to me. You night moths that hover where honey brims over from sycamore blossoms, or settle or sleep, you glowworms, shine out, and a pathway discover to him that comes darkling along the rough steep. Ah, my sailor, make haste, for the time runs to waste, and my love lieth deep. Too deep for swift telling, and yet my one lover, I've conned thee an answer, it waits thee to night. By the sycamore passed he, and through the white clover, then all the sweet speech I had fashioned took flight. But I'll love him more, more than e'er wife loved before, be the days dark or bright. 7 times 4, maternity. Hey ho, daisies and buttercups, fair yellow daffodils, stately and tall, when the wind wakes, how they rock in the grasses, and dance with the cuckoo buds, slender and small. Here's 2 bonny boys, and here's mother's own lassies, eager to gather them all. Hey ho, daisies and buttercups, mother shall thread them a daisy chain, sing them a song of the pretty hedge sparrow that loved her brown little ones, loved them full fain. Sing hearts, thou art wise, though the house be but narrow, sing once and sing it again. Hey ho, daisies and buttercups, sweet wagging cowslips, they bend and they bow, A ship sails afar over warm ocean waters, and haply one musing doth stand at her prow. O bonny brown sons, and O sweet little daughters, maybe he thinks on you now. Hey ho, daisies and buttercups, fair yellow daffodils, stately and tall, a sunshiny world full of laughter and leisure, and fresh hearts unconscious of sorrow and thrall, send down on their pleasure smiles, passing its measure, God that is over us all. 7 times 5, widowhood. I sleep and rest, my heart makes moan before I am well awake. Let me bleed, oh let me alone, since I must not break. For children wake, though fathers sleep, with a stone at foot and at head. O sleepless God, forever keep both living and dead. I lift mine eyes, and what to see but a world happy and fair? I have not wished it to mourn with me, comfort is not there. O what are near but golden brooms, and a waste of reedy rills? O what are far but the fine glooms on the rare blue hills? I shall not die, but live for lore. How bitter it is to part! O to meet thee, my love, once more! O my heart, my heart! No more to hear, no more to see. O that an echo might wake, and waft one note of thy psalm to me, ere my heart's strings break. I should know it how faint soe'er, and with angel voices blent. O once to feel thy spirit anear, I could be content. Or once between the gates of gold, while an angel entering trod, but once thee sitting to behold on the hills of God. 7 times 6, giving in marriage. To bear, to nurse, to rear, to watch and then to lose, to see my bright ones disappear, drawn up like morning dews. To bear, to nurse, to rear, to watch and then to lose, this I have done when God drew near among his own to choose. To hear, to heed, to wed, and with thy Lord depart, in tears that he, as soon as shed, will let no longer smart. To hear, to heed, to wed, this while thou didst I smiled, for now it was not God who said, Mother, give me thy child. O fond, O fool and blind, to God I gave with tears, but when a man like grace would find, my soul put by her fears. O fond, O fool and blind, God guards in happier spheres, that man will guard where he did bind is hope for unknown years. To hear, to heed, to wed, fair lot that maidens choose, thy mother's tenderest words are said, thy face no more she views. Thy mother's lot, my dear, she doth in naught accuse, her lot to bear, to nurse, to rear, to love, and then to lose. 7 times 7, longing for home. 1. A song of a boat. There was once a boat on a billow, lightly she rocked to her port remote, and the foam was white in her wake like snow, and her frail mast bowed when the wind would blow, and bent like a wand of willow. 2. I shaded mine eyes one day when a boat went curtsying over the billow. I marked her course till a dancing mote she faded out on the moonlit foam, and I stayed behind in the dear loved home, and my thoughts all day were about the boat, and my dreams upon the pillow. 3. I pray you hear my song of a boat, for it is but short. My boat you shall find none fairer afloat in river or port. Long I looked out for the lad she bore on the open desolate sea, and I think he sailed to the heavenly shore, for he came not back to me. Ah me. 4. A Song of a Nest. There was once a nest in a hollow, down in the mosses and knot grass pressed, soft and warm and full to the brim. Vetches leaned over it, purple and dim, with buttercup buds to follow. 5. I pray you hear my song of a nest, for it is not long. You shall never light in a summer quest the bushes among, shall never light on a prouder sitter a fairer nestful, nor ever know a softer sound than their tender twitter that wind-like did come and go. 6. I had a nestful once of my own, and happy, happy I. Right dearly I loved them, but when they were grown they spread out their wings to fly. Oh, one after one they flew away, far up to the heavenly blue, to the better country, the upper day, and I wish I was going too. 7. I pray you, what is the nest to me, my empty nest? And what is the shore where I stood to see my boat sail down to the west? Can I call that home where I anchor yet, though my good man has sailed? Can I call that home where my nest was set, now all its hope hath failed? Nay, but the port where my sailor went, and the land where my nestlings be, there is the home where my thoughts are sent, the only home for me. Ah me. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Written in the Juice of a Lemon by Abraham Cowley. Read for Librivox.org by Noel Badrian, County Offaly, Ireland. Whilst what I write I do not see, I dare thus e'en to you write poetry. Ah, foolish Muse, which dost so high aspire, and know'st her judgment well, how much it does thy power excel, yet darest be read by thy just doom the fire. Alas, thou thinkest thyself secure, because thy form is innocent and pure, like hypocrites, which seem unspotted here, but when they sadly come to die, and the last fire their truth must try, scrawled o'er like thee, and blotted they appear. Go then, but reverently go, and since thou needst must sin, confess it too. Confessed, and with humility clothe thy shame, for thou, who else must burned be, and heretic, if she pardon thee, mayst like a martyr then enjoy the flame. But if her wisdom grow severe, and suffer not her goodness to be there, if her large mercies cruelly it restrain, be not discouraged, but require a more gentle ordeal, fire, and bid her by love's flames read it again. Strange power of heat, thou yet dost show, like winter earth, naked or clothed with snow, but as the quickening sun approaching near, the plants arise up by degrees, a sudden paint adorns the trees, and all kind nature's characters appear. So nothing yet in thee is seen, but when a genial heat warms thee within, a new-born wood of various lines there grows. Here buds an A, and there a B, here sprouts a V, and there a T, and all the flourishing letters stand in rows. Still, silly paper, thou wilt think that all this might as well be writ with ink. Oh no, there's sense in this, and mystery. Thou now mayst change thy author's name, and to her hand lay noble claim, for as she reads she makes the words in thee. Yet, if thine own unworthiness will still that thou art mine, not hers, confess, consume thyself with fire before her eyes, and so her grace or pity move. The gods, though beasts they do not love, yet like them when they're burnt in sacrifice. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Poema 24. Aquela triste e lei da madrugada, by Luís Vaz de Camões, read for Librivox.org by Carlos Gomes, in Vila Franca de Xira, Portugal, May 2012. Aquela triste e leda madrugada, cheia toda de mágoa e de piedade, enquanto houver no mundo saudade, quero que seja sempre celebrada. Ela só, quando amena e marestada, saía dando ao mundo claridade, viu apartar-se de uma outra vontade, que nunca poderá ver-se apartada. Ela só viu as lágrimas em fio, que de uns e de outros olhos derivadas, se acrescentaram em grande e largo rio. Ela ouviu as palavras magoadas, que puderam tornar o fogo frio, e dar descanso às almas condenadas. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.